morning, Speaker. My question is for the Premier. This morning, the Financial Accountability Officer confirmed what we here already know. This government is neither open nor transparent. He said it is, quote, highly disappointing that instead of looking to maximize information disclosure, this government restricts disclosure. This, quote, impedes the ability of MPPs to perform their duties of holding this government to account. They have repeatedly missed reporting requirements under the Fiscal Transparency and Accountability Act since 2012. They cancelled the gas plant scandal hearings, removed legislature officer oversight on Hydro One, and regularly stonewalled the FAO and Auditor General from receiving necessary information.
Question. I
ask the Premier, are cabinet leaks and criminal investigations the only way we can ever get the real facts here?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Let me talk about the Financial Accountability Officer, and we have a real respect for this office. The member opposite knows that we
work. Finish, please.
Mr. Speaker, ministries work closely with the FAO. The member opposite knows that we worked with the opposition parties, and we recognize during a minority parliament we worked together to establish the office of the FAO, Mr. Speaker. And both the legislation and the office of the Financial Accountability Officer were modelled after the Parliamentary Budget Officer, Mr. Speaker. That was the agreement and the discussion that we talked about with the opposition. It is the office and the parameters of his job, of that office, are modelled after the Parliamentary Budget Officer, Mr. Speaker. That is the work that we did together.
Member from Leeds Grenville, second time. Supplementary.
To the Premier, the FAO told us there is, quote, a broader pattern of refusals for access to information. He also said the government's stonewalling has, quote, made it difficult to assess the plausibility of the government's financial projections and to evaluate risks that those projections would ever be met. He doesn't trust their numbers. The FAO said the government is withholding documents and shocked us, Speaker, by saying, quote, I believe this is political direction. This is unbelievable. From backroom deals to stonewalling officers of the legislature, this government only does what's best for the Liberal Party. Speaker, will the Premier end this pattern of obstruction and give the FAO the necessary documents to do his job?
Minister of Finance.
Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, I want to reiterate that we work very closely with the Financial Accountability Officer, the first of its kind in Canada for a province to undertake. Additionally,
thank you. Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we respect the work that the Financial Accountability Officer does for our province. It is why we put in place the opportunities to have more forward-thinking and review of the actions that we take. Additionally, we will be sending a government-wide directive to all offices to ensure that offices are responding to the FAO in a consistent and timely manner, Mr. Speaker. To be clear, requests for information from the FAO are responded by non-partisan officials. It's not by the political staff. And during the minority government, all parties work together to establish the FAO and the legislation that governs the office. We are working within those parameters. We'll continue to work collaboratively with the FAO on an ongoing basis, and we will provide the information that we're allowed. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
New question from